presidential candidates to come and talk to us about their policies. UTG is the highest learning institution in the Gambia, and it is important that we get to know how level-headed, how prepared these young people are when it comes to taking up leadership roles, either at the parliament, at the level of the executive, at the judiciary, you name it. And today, I am joined by Ibrahima Toure, who is the candidate for the Solutionist Salvation Coalition, as well as the candidate for Alliance, Mohammed. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. And usually, these are the two camps that go head-to-head for the past 3 years. Well, actually, last year, we had an independent candidate and a heated debate for that matter, I can remember. So thank you so much, gentlemen. There's no woman candidate, but we'll talk about that later. The both of you, thank you so much for willing to join me here to, exchange ideas and to tell the students of the University of the Gambia why they should vote for either of you. Welcome to the show, Ibrahima.
All right, thank you very much, Jainaba, for actually welcoming to this platform. It is indeed a pleasure to be here, and I believe we will have a wonderful discussion as we proceed.
Yes, Mohammed.
Thank you so very much, Jainaba, and greetings to everybody down there at home. My name is Mohammed Galan, as earlier introduced, presidential candidate for UTG Interschool Alliance. And of course, it's a pleasure to be here, Jainaba.
Yeah, so Mr. Toure, last presidential election, your candidate couldn't make it. The Alliance actually triumphed. And then, we all know the Alliance has been existing for a very long time. They have a very, very strong position at the University of the Gambia, kind of an administrative body that even exists internally based on how they do their work. So how do you see this year? Do you have a strong footing to be able to overcome that? Because your candidate did have challenges last year and could not win.
All right, thank you very much. I think I will draw you back to the establishment of this noble team. They have established in 2021. Since that we have contested for 36 seats, and we were able to win 31 seats. So this is to tell you that the will of the students of the University of the Gambia are with this noble team. Last year we contested and then we won 9 seats. We were not able to win the 3 of the seats, which is the president, the vice president, and also the agriculture minister. But if you can see the margin, you will understand that the will of the University of the Gambia students are with the Solutionist Salvation
So the reason why I drew your attention to the presidency is because I organized this, focusing on only the president. So at the end of the day, even if you have all the seats and it's not the president, then it becomes a challenge because the president is.
Yes, it becomes a challenge in one way or the other. But if you look at it as well, in union, we work unanimously.
Okay.
And then when certain decision comes, we have to look at it as a team. So in ensuring that we have efficiency in whatsoever we are to do. So this is to tell you that it's not about individual, but it's about the group.
All right. So, Mohammed, it's not about the individual, it's about the group. Only 3 seats last year. What do you think about that? The fact that you were able to get only 3 seats. Alliance is well structured, has been existing for so many years, and you've even struggled in previous elections. So what is going to be the difference now beyond the presidency, winning majority of the seats, like he mentioned?
Thank you for that question, Jainaba. As you earlier mentioned, UTG Interschool Alliance for Change is the longest existent political entity in the University of the Gambia and the most structured political entity. Unfortunately, last year we only had 3 seats, but the 2 most important seats in government, that is the presidency and the vice president. The president is the one that represents us as governing council, and the vice president represents us at the Senate. And most importantly, the agri minister, who is in fact recognized as the most active executive member in this current council.
Are you sure?
Very sure. He is here present. He is from that council. The agri minister is the most active executive member in that council. And again, the issue of not being able to get other positions, it's due to the fact that we had 2 of our candidates that were disqualified.
Oh.
And we all knew the rationale behind. We need not to get into that. But what is most important is the 3 seats that we had are doing exceptionally well. And that is what is expected of them. Because I was their campaign manager. And one thing that I've always stood for was telling them clearly that we put you into office, we supported you in order for you to be in office and serve the students of the University of the Gambia. And that is exactly what we have seen them doing. And that is enough
I
for us.
saw you shaking. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I will say a big no to that.
Okay.
Because what he said, that the agri minister is the most active
The
minister,
most vibrant.
the most vibrant. I think probably he's not been following. When you look at the executive currently, it's just few individuals that are proactive. Yes, and then yes, yes.
With Nyaninka as the president.
Yes, as the president. It's not like I'm part of the council. I know how it works. The agri minister have been missing. Even in our meetings, she will not join the meetings. She will not take part. So that will actually baffle me if he comes here today and said he is the most active minister. Secondly, the presidency and the vice president. You know, we need people that are level-headed.
Are you saying that Nyaninka under the alliance ticket, they were not level-headed enough to handle the business of
actually,
the SU?
if you look at it, you will understand that the vice president was one time suspended in the council. This was the first time it happens.
Okay.
That is to tell you.
And an alliance.
Yes, it's an alliance, of course. That is to tell you, if you look at it, he do not comport himself in the current council. And that's what actually led to his suspension. Secondly, that is why I said we have challenges.
Okay.
Hadn't been we have 12 over 12, we'll be able to push the agenda. But like he said, the highest position is the president. The second highest is the vice president. And these are the people that represent us at the governing council and also at
So how did you see the alliance leadership from last year? Quickly, before we get into policies.
Yes. Alliance leadership, it's always a problem.
Why is that?
Because when you look at it, this is what informed our decision as coalition. Solution is Salvation Coalition. Just look at it. 2 big schools form this camp.
Okay.
That is School of Business and Public Administration and also SAS, School of Arts and Sciences. So Salvation is formed at School of Business and Public Administration. And then also Solution is formed at SAS, School of Arts and Science.
Okay.
So this is to tell you that they want to end a government that actually involves themselves into financial mismanagement, bad governance. This is what informed their decision to come together as one. And 6th, like I told you, they are the most, successful camp in the history of the University of the Gambia Student Union.
Okay,
politics.
so we'll stop there. Yes. Mohammed, do you agree with that? Mismanagement of funds by alliance. You were campaign manager. So you were campaign manager. You are an internal individual and now vying for the position of presidency. These are huge allegations.
And exactly why I would have to level each and every one of them. To start with the suspension of Honorable Yunus Ambey. Yunus Ambey was suspended not because of his bad attitude, but because of the fact that he stood against bad governance. What do I mean by bad governance? They appointed his own opponent who never went to Students' Week as the chair of the Students' Week. How can someone who never went to the Students' Week serve as Students' Week? She does not even understood the background of the Students' Week. And they appointed someone who served then rather as the deputy speaker of the legislative body, as the deputy chairperson. That is bad governance. You cannot have someone at the legislative body serving as the chairperson of the deputy chair of the Students' Week. It is conflicting of ideas and conflicting of interest. Because at the LB, that's where they needed to approve the budget for the Students' Week. And if he, as deputy chair, is also deputy speaker, of course he will try to influence the decision of the approval of the budget.
But how about bad governance with Alliance Party?
Alliance have never been known for bad governance. And the issue of the mismanagement of funds, I'm glad he raised it. This would give me the opportunity to clarify to every student in the University of the Gambia that the continuous allegation that which Alliance is being faced with is absolutely not true, absolutely unfounded. My financial mismanagement that which have been alleged on Alliance is with regards to the 1 million that was embezzled in 2023. When last did Alliance assume office? In 2021. Until this very recently. In 2021, when the 19th Executive Council left office, the coalition-led council took over. They needed to change signatories with the alliance-led council at the time. These 2 signatories of the endowment fund were Mohamed Bibaji and Modulami Jajusi. When they needed to change signatories of these individuals, these two people are from the Salvation Solutions or Alliance? They contested under Alliance and won as Gen and Health Minister and as Auditor General. After their tenure, at the end of their tenure, they were asked to sign off the registration, the signatories of the endowment fund. And they went to the bank, signed off, and notified the other council, that was the Lagami-led council,
okay, the Lagami
to go and sign to take over the endowment fund. But the Lagami-led council, their vice president and finance minister and some other candidates amongst them, some of the members of that council, failed to sign in.
So are you saying that the Lagami-led council failed when it comes to using the endowment fund for the benefit of students? They
failed in taking over the accounts of the endowment fund. It's through their negligence that Modou Lamin Jajisi and Mohamed Bibaji were able to have access to the account until 2023. But how about the fact that
those are alliances by blood?
They are alliances, but they were ready to sign off the account. When they came and signed off, it was for them, the coalition-led council, to sign and take control of the account. But they failed to do this, and that is why in 2023, and in fact, not only did they fail to do that, they took that as an opportunity to be accusing Alliance for stealing money in 2022, when in fact the 1 million was already in the account. In 2023, when we started the campaign, they still accused Alliance of stealing that money. And it was on November 27th, that the 25th rather, that the coalition-led council by Kemo Conte wrote to these two individuals, notifying them that they still have control of that account and that they needed them to come and sign off the account again. Those people, on the 27th, on the 25th, upon receiving that email, knew that they still had control of that account. They went on the 27th and withdrew. What they did. That means they were informed by the Kemo-led council. It's the negligence of the Lagami-led council and the Kemo-led council that these two
which
people...
are both Salvation Solutionists.
That gave these people the opportunity to still have control over that account. And because they had control over that account and been notified by the Kemo-led council on the 25th of November 2023
they did what they did.
That they still had access to the account, they had the opportunity to go and withdraw the money. And that is exactly what they did. So
negligence based on these two leaderships.
I think I have to make this point very clear. Probably the young man here do not understand the fund aspect I'm talking about. These are two folds. The other one is 1.4 million.
Okay.
That is for the semesterly scholarship. That money was embezzled. None of
it was
students,
embezzled?
Yeah, none of the students. They said they gave out scholarships to students. But they were not able to provide a single math number of a student that they paid. Different from this other million I'm talking about. This other million, what he's talking about, I think he actually don't understand. Now, why would
so they can't provide letters to whom the scholarships were?
Yes, they can't. And then in fact,
today.
Till today. And then Lagami-led council. Let me just give you a basic scenario.
Quickly.
Now, if you transfer the signatories for the union's account, what should stop you from transferring the endowment fund to the union's account? Even today, as we speak, they do not come to the bank for them to transfer the signatory to this current council. Meaning there is a motive. Why would you, in fact, if the camp is genuine enough, why would you take a money that doesn't belong to you and specifically for students, for investment, that will help the students?
So you are saying on this program that the 1.4 million has not been allocated to students for scholarships.
Indeed, for us we did it at Kemo's-led council. Kemo's-led council.
No, I mean with this current.
That's what I mean. No, they retrieve this money. We retrieve it. I'm
the 1.4.
I'm part of this council.
So what was that? And that's different from the 1 million.
This 1 million is different from that other money.
The 1.4.
Yes.
So the 1.4 was also embezzled.
For scholarship, they said they gave out scholarship. Osman Jass's council. They said they gave out scholarship.
And they never did.
They never did. And then for us, Kemos-led council, in fact, he is a beneficiary to that scholarship. We gave out 40% semesterly scholarship to 40 students.
Okay. Then Alliance, you should come out with a statement to make it clear to us. To let us know 1.4 million binyana ko embezzle be after you tell what ko dafa wara leer.
Thank you for that.
And then one thing.
Why quickly? We need to get into policies.
To policies, most importantly.
Yes.
That is because it is what brings us here.
Yes, but we need to clear these things.
We need to clear
just to clarify this point. Just to clarify this point. You know, in fact, the time this happened, the gentleman here stood before the Congress and said these people supposed not to pay the money. He banned them in the Congress. People were there.
Okay.
These people stole students' money.
Yeah.
You came at the Congress. Then his current Secretary General was the one reading the report. At the end, he had the opportunity to speak. And then he said they should not pay the money.
Okay.
We went to the council.
Yeah.
In fact, to talk about this, the president, the vice president also stood that these people should not pay. We tell them no. This
but you don't know who took the money.
We know very well who took the money.
Okay, quickly, let's get into policies after this.
First, the issue of the 1.4 million is absolutely unfunded.
Okay.
The $1 million is that which was given as an endowment fund for the University of the Gambia students was for the union to raise funds and use that fund that which they raise to benefit the students of the university area, give it to them as scholarship.
Okay.
However, when these people got it, they had a committee. In fact, it was led by Satang Dumbuya and other individuals. Satang Dumbuya. They had this committee, and with that committee, that is where they were expected to raise funds. They started activities. I cannot remember the activities because I was not in the University of the Gambia at that time. Yeah. I'm not at a position to talk on their behalf. However, when they raised these funds, they were able to give it to the students for scholarship. What they needed was for students of the University of the Gambia to have scholarship from that endowment fund. And when they give out students this scholarship, they wanted these people to come and write the names of the students that which they gave scholarship to. Okay. And that is, if you understand administration, that is not how administration works.
Exactly.
Certain people are privy, their privacy is expected to be protected.
Okay.
Just as he just
so they asked that they didn't want people to know that they're giving the scholarship.
Just as he highlighted here, I'm a beneficiary. But I'm not happy about the fact that he had to stand here or sit here to say I'm a beneficiary.
But then if we don't say it, where is the accountability? You don't think?
Accountability has to be there.
He should say that we have beneficiaries from the University of the Gambia students. And it is
so the beneficiaries are there, they're just not known?
No, the beneficiaries are there, they just are not highlighted in their reports. But with regards to the $1 million, there was nothing like 1.4 million that was for the scholarship of the student. It's only 1 million that was for the endowment fund. Okay. And with this 1 million, that is what I just highlighted to you, that it was embezzled by two individuals that did it when they left the University of the Gambia. If you understand UTG, especially UTG Alliance for Change, we are the most structured political entity. When you are a student of the University of the Gambia and you affiliate yourself with UTG, the Interschool Alliance for Change, we see you as an alliancer. The soonest you leave UTG Interschool or UTG in general, you no longer regarded as an alliancer. You are, if you are helping Alliance in any way possible, you are regarded as an ex-officio of Alliance. Okay. But if you don't have any relationship with the camp, you are no longer an alliance. And he's saying that I stood and said that those people should not pay. It's absolutely untrue. Why do I say this? I stood and questioned them as to why are they pushing the punishment on Usman Jasseh. Because Usman Jasseh was just president, he was not a signatory to the account, and he had literally nothing to do with it. Okay. And it was justified that he needed to pay. And there I stood and said, in fact, they need to pay. We as a political camp wrote a dispatch condemning their actions. The actions of both Modlami Jajisi and Mohamed Bibaji, condemning their actions and asked them to swiftly pay the money of the University of the Gambia Students' Union. And immediately after that was done, Modlami Jajisi wrote and acknowledged that he withdrew that money. And he did it, after withdrawal, he shared it with Mohamed Bibaji. And after they shared it, he now was taking responsibility of repaying his part. In fact, not long ago, he sent a message on WhatsApp Gambia to say that he repaid the money. Yeah. And most recently, the union themselves wrote to indicate that the entire money has been retrieved. Okay. The current council. Okay. So that means,
now, gentlemen,
just to clear the air, UTG Interschool Alliance for Change has never embezzled, will never tolerate embezzlement. And myself in person, I've never stood and supported the embezzlement. Okay. We as a political entity, under my leadership as the chair of the UTG Interschool Alliance for Change 10-man committee, wrote a dispatch condemning their actions. So him saying that I supported that is absolutely untrue. And as we said before,
so now let's put. So now this is clear to the voters. We don't have time. Yes, so this is clear to our voters.
Thank you.
So now let's head right on to policies. Solution salvation is policies. Moving on. I've had presidential candidates come here and tell me a lot of beautiful things, but implementation becomes a problem. We've been doing this for the past 7 to 8 years. We are looking forward to now your realistic policies. What are some of the changes that you want to bring? Some of the innovations that you want to put on the table to ensure that the plight of students at the University of the Gambia gets to improve?
All right. Just to take you through my policies. But before that, 1 second, I just want to eat 1 second of your time.
We don't have, yeah, quickly.
Yes, just 1 second. What he's saying that I stood here today to say he's a beneficiary to the account. In his policy, he actually highlighted it, and that is all over University of the Gambia. I read it from his policy.
Okay.
It is there. He is the one who actually indicated it. And it's not me alone that actually see that. It's the entire university students.
But it's okay to be a beneficiary.
That is because, that is to tell you how transparent we are as a political camp. If you are leading people, you have to be transparent in this modern generation. Why should you, max yourself with something that doesn't belong to you? And why would you allow for your people to come and take that money and then use it? They are from your camp. You cannot change that.
But he's highlighting that they've already,
both
Baji and Usman have already left at that time.
This sum of money, they didn't took this sum of money at the same time.
They took it bit by. Do you have evidence to that?
I am in the current council.
You have evidence to that?
I am the sports minister, University of the Gambia Students Union as it stands.
Okay.
I'm just on leave of absence.
So what are the policies? Okay,
good. Just to take you through the policies. Transportation is for university students. We will see that there are a lot of challenges that university students face when it comes to transportation. It is all over the media. I think just yesterday or day before yesterday, What's on Gambia actually posted.
Yeah.
The causes of this, we actually need to factor certain things that actually cause this. Because if you want to address an issue, you need to know the factors.
So how can you change the narrative when it comes to transportation?
Now, by looking at unevenly distribution of causes, that is a challenge. This is why sometimes there are days that, the buses will be congested and then also inadequate of buses. There are days from Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. These are days that are busy days because there is unevenly distribution of courses. Moreover, GR courses.
So
one lecturer will be taking a course which is up to 150 students. An inadequate supply of buses as well.
So how do you intend to change that?
Yes, how we intend to do that, because there is an agreement between MOHAS and GTSC. That is, GTSC is supposed to deploy 20 buses. And these 20 buses should be 54-seater buses. But we understand that sometimes there will be less than that, less than 20 buses. And also sometimes you will see many buses that will go to Faraba. And this cannot commute 5,000 students daily. Sometimes it will even be more than 5,000 students that are going to Faraba. I'm a victim. I'm going to Faraba every day. Maybe for him, he will not endure that because he only comes to Faraba when it is political time. But I've never seen this young man at Faraba. It's only political time that he will go to Faraba. But we face those challenges.
But maybe his school is not there.
Yeah, his school is not there. That is why I said experience is the best teacher. I've experienced it for quite long. Now, what we intend to do is to make sure GTSC and MOHAS stick to their agreement. We have to advocate for that. Because if not, the agreement, contract is something very important. There are elements in contract that we need to observe. That is offer and acceptance. So if both parties agree to deploy 20 buses, 54 seaters, those buses, that agreement should be fulfilled. But now, coming to that, to address that issue, we will also make sure we have evenly distribution of courses. Courses. Because what I mean is, now, if a lecturer, for instance, general courses, you pack all the general courses on Monday, on Thursday, on Saturday. Sometimes there even 15 buses can commute people from Faraba to from their various destinations to Faraba. That is because you look at the courses Wednesday, today, like for today, Wednesday, there is less classes going to Faraba. But on Monday, Thursday, and Saturday, GR courses for 150 students per lecturer. That is huge. More than 5,000 students. Last Monday, more than 8,000, almost to 8,000 students that went to Faraba. So you don't expect a bus less than 15, and then also a mini bus part of that buses will not be able to commute those people to Faraba.
So quickly, Mohammed, what are your plans when it comes to transportation? It has come up for the past years, for the past 7-8 years. Transportation has been a center of discussion for UTG, and now that we have Faraba, does your plans align with Mr. Toure's plans here? I
have a plan on the issue of the transportation, because as we all know, it's a constant problem that students are facing. And this we intend to solve or ameliorate. Just as I would always tell students, we are proactive leaders, result-oriented leaders. When we knew that this is a problem, we engaged GTSC, which is the key partner when it comes to this transportation problem. When we engaged GTSC, they clearly told us it's a contract between them and the Ministry of Higher Education. And since it is a contract between the two institutions, what is expected of us is to advocate for the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology on the issue of the increment of buses. Because we know 20 buses are not enough for the students of the University of the Gambia. Even if all these 20 buses are deployed on daily basis, even on Monday, these 20 buses would not be able to commute all students from the University of the Gambia to Faraba. What we intend to do as member council is to make sure we engage other private sectors. Just as I said, we are proactive leaders. When we engaged GTSC, it was on 3 pertinent issues. One, the increment of buses. That's when they told us that there's a contract between them and they cannot change it with us. It's beyond us. Even the VC has little or nothing to do with it. However, we intend to engage the minister to see how best we could advocate for the increment of buses. But that is not an assurance that which we are giving to the students. Because we can engage the minister and at the end with a promise that which he may give us and at the end still come and fail us. And we cannot rely on promises that which may have a possibility of being failed. However, we have already started engaging private sectors, like NEBIM, for example. NEBIM is a private institution or a private transportation company that focuses on truck transportation. When we engage them, we sold to them the idea of being able to buy buses that which would be able to commute to Faraba to take students.
Who's going to buy that?
That company, for them to invest into this business. It's business for them. For them to be able to invest into this business. If they're able to invest into this business, together with GTSC, at least the transportation challenge that we students are faced with.
So at the level of the SU, you are bringing another company?
We want to, we have started engaging this company. And we want to believe after engaging them, if they said it's at a consideration stage, if they're willing to buy these buses, they'll communicate to us. And after communicating to us, we would of course engage the management to ensure that this would be an easy transaction between them and the management, to ensure that students of the University of the Gambia are provided with buses. Because the 20 buses are not enough.
So, Mr. Ture, it seems Alliance has gone the extra mile.
No, we did not only stop there. We did not only stop at that. We have a policy on the procurement of buses. We know the UTG, SU, UTG as an entity, does not have enough buses. There is need for us to have more buses. And this we intend to do by engaging the Chinese embassy. The Chinese embassy has been one of the key partners to the University of the Gambia. They have supported the university when it comes to scholarship, for a lot of students. They have in fact supported the University of the Gambia when it comes to allocation of a course called the Chinese language, where students of the University of the Gambia are offered this Chinese course to learn the Chinese language. When we get into office, we intend to write to the Chinese embassy to seek their donation, extend our hands to them, because they're key partners. They have been helping the UTG. Among the first buses that were donated to UTG was done by the Chinese embassy. If we engage this entity, write to them and seek their support, I am of the strongest conviction that this Chinese embassy would be at a position to support the University of the Gambia.
It seems, Mr. Ture, you do not agree with them contacting a private company. Why is that?
Yeah, I think, if I don't know whether you're listening, Kelly.
I am.
We want to, and we did. It's two different things.
He said they did.
No, in his, maybe you're not getting it.
No, that's what I heard.
That's what
he said. They've already, it's at a consideration stage.
I have listened to that. Now, what I'm trying to tell you, you see, policies, when you're making policies, it needs to be smart policies.
Very well.
And then right now, by looking at this situation, students are affected. What he's saying to buy bus, we're talking about current situation. When you're making policies, it has to be in twofold. Macro policies and specific policies that you need to get. You will only get this when you do policy analysis. You understand? Now, what he's trying to say, that they are going to engage those people to buy. You see, policies need to be measurable, and they need to be realistic and time-bound. But if you don't have, these are just vague things. I can stand here and say, we are going to do this and do this. At the end, it will not materialize. The only thing that can be materialized right now. Now, let's look at Faraba as a whole. Not only Faraba, those that are coming from Combo South and those that are also going to Banjul. Let's look at this collectively, holistically. 20 buses going to Faraba. You know, initially, when we actually moved to Faraba, then the only parent body that was there, I can say the mother of Faraba, is School of Education. Before these two giant schools actually went to Faraba. That is a School of Arts and Sciences and School of Business and Public Administration. First, they deployed 8 buses. But through engagement, they added 8 buses, from 8 buses to 15 buses. And from there, we believe that other schools came. This still is not sufficient. They moved the bus, increased the buses from 15 to 20 buses. So we're talking about, if we are addressing issues, it has to be issues that are affecting students recently.
So it's not realistic.
It's not, you know, it has to be.
Okay.
No, let me.
So let's move on to mentorship.
No, let me just complete
Quickly,
this question.
yes.
Yes, just one sec. Now, when you look at that issue, now, like I said, on evenly distribution of courses, this is like, there are some lecturers, they will select specific days that this is the day I want to go to Faraba. Like 2, 3, 4, we are taking 150 courses at a go. So if you don't have evenly distribution of courses,
but you have the power to ensure that as well.
I'm going to work with my education and research minister plus the vice president.
1 minute for rebuttal and we are gone.
Yeah. I think he did not hear me properly. I did not say we will. I said we did. We did engage NABIM. And again, if he heard me properly, the issue of specific and measurable, all that which I have mentioned are things that are attainable. One, the engagement with MOHAS to increase the buses. Because I said the buses are not enough. 20 buses will not be able to commute students to Faraba on daily basis. The 20 buses are not enough. We would first engage MOHAS to ensure that they talk to GTSA, amend their contract, and increase the buses that which would be commuted to Faraba on daily basis. And again, we will not stop there. We have gone further to ensure that there are more buses that which would fly students to Faraba. That is by engaging NABIM company so they could invest into this business in order to help students.
So let's talk about mentorship, Mohammed. For mentorship, let's move on. We have limited time. Mentorship, when students come newly to the University of the Gambia, they require mentorship.
That's true.
It is a very, very big challenge. When you come in, you don't know how to choose courses, you don't know how to use the portal. And the SU then has to come into play to guide these students. Maybe attach 10 people to one person from Alliance or something to guide them. Do you have plans on that? Allocating that kind of allocation for mentorship to ensure that when students come in newly, peer-to-peer mentorship, you know, has proven to be very effective.
Thank you for that question, Jainaba. I think I have the answer to this question in two facets. First, I would love to talk about the fact that in law faculty, the mentorship program that is there, the student-to-student mentorship are initiated. And right now, every student of the University of the Gambia Faculty of Law, when you are newly enrolled, you are attached to a mentor. Right now, I'm mentoring, I think, 2 students at the Faculty of Law as their mentor, as a senior at the Faculty of Law. However, when you look at the union as a whole, when students are newly admitted into the university, the orientation is done very poorly. It's more of politics than helping the students. And that is why when voted into office, my vice president has it as a policy to standardize the orientation system. This we intend to do by engaging the management to ensure that we provide the students with cards, orientation cards, that would show them how to navigate through the portal, as well as if you are a development student, your seniors at your own different schools. Each school has a sub-association. Like let's say SOSA, Faculty of Law, and so on. They would be provided with cards that would highlight all the courses that you need to register as a first-year student, as a second-year student, and as a third-year student, and equally as a fourth-year student. But focusing on first year, they would have to highlight to you the GAR courses that are available for you to register in those courses. And if you're a development major, the first-year courses that which you can register as a development major. And if you're
generally just a card to show them what to do.
To show them what to do. With the provision of this card, they would be able to know how to navigate through the portal, and would of course be able to know how to have their courses registered. Equally, as a student who believes in mentorship, most especially, I have it as a policy to establish the alumni association. UTG, as we speak,
no alumni association.
You are an ex-student of UTG. Have you heard of any alumni?
No, I'm not sitting here as a
UTG. You are an ex-student of UTG. If there was an alumni association, you would be, of course, aware of the alumni association. As we speak, there is no alumni association. The University of the Gambia management that is directly under the Director of Students Welfare have been working to ensure that there is an alumni association. Most recently, they have gone far to the extent of the only thing left for them to have this alumni association is to launch it. But still, it is being delayed. When voted into office as the president, incumbent upon me as the president of the University of the Gambia, by Section 12, paragraph P, that I need to be the student representative at the Alumni Association. When voted into office, I will make sure that I push it with the Director of Students Affairs to ensure that this Alumni Association is established. If it is established, not only students are going to benefit from the scholarship that which we could get from this Alumni Association, because we know what alumni does to the their former universities. Where not only will we benefit from them, but we will benefit from internship opportunities that which we can lobby with them. Equally, there's mentorship to the students of the University of the including their personal development and career development.
Thank you for that. Mentorship, very key.
Yes, I think he just confessed not long ago to say that the orientation is not organized. And then his vice president is the one in charge of that. When it comes to orientation, the vice president is the one responsible for that.
But orientations have been happening for the longest time.
Let me just come. Orientations are always successful.
Okay.
This year, it wasn't successful.
Because of our alliance leadership?
That is a bitter truth.
Really?
Because he's the vice president. In fact, what we used to do, we go outside, fill our tents, have a beautiful orientation.
Okay.
But this year, we use like for more than 3-4 classes. And then the vice president is from Allianz, is the one that is spearheading that activity.
And it was not successful?
It wasn't as the way it's supposed to be. This is to tell you how alliances are. They are not proactive when it comes to work. Now, when we talk about mentorship, I am part and parcel of people that actually mentored students. Not only when it comes to university, but even outside, to coach them into business, because I'm an entrepreneur. It is important you understand mentorship. The card he is talking about, sometimes, that is why I said, if you're talking about policies, it has to be realistic.
So the cards aren't?
Now, let's look at it. There is a brochure for all the courses that you need to do in UTG. It will tell you your first semester, this is what you need to do. Second semester, this is what you do, up to the last semester. That is available. Now, by using the portal, students actually, we are part of newly admitted group.
Okay.
More than 1,000 students in that page that actually enrolled to the University of the Gambia. We have been doing this. It's not like just to come and say, oh, I do this. We have been doing it. We mentor these students, freshers from their senior school to University of the Gambia.
You mean the solution is Salvation?
The solution is Salvation
from high
Coalition.
School?
We always mentor them.
Okay.
From high school. In fact, there was a time that their president wanted to actually disregard that effort.
Which president is that?
The current president, Nyanin Kamanja, want to
okay.
disregard that. We told him this is not politically motivated. This is about helping the students. And students are finding it very easy. We don't even only start a register for them to, when it comes to portal system also, but enrollment in UTG. We start far. It's not just now, we start far. We assist them how to apply university, how to use their portal to take them through the brochures. So when we are talking about policies needs to be realistic.
We have 4 minutes to go. What is your rebuttal and your closing?
First, I think he needs to understand one thing. If you're talking about implementation of policies, especially policies that are realistic, you need to be at a position to give a solution to that which you are reporting. He only reported the policy, but did not tell us what they're doing. And as UTG Interschool Alliance speaking, with regards to the application for the students, on annual basis, we help students to apply to the University of the Gambia. Myself specifically, I've applied for more than 40 students to the University of the Gambia this starting semester. Myself, as Ngala and Mohammed, under the UTG Interschool Alliance, we have been offering students this opportunity. However, why I said the orientation is not organized, he's blaming the vice president. Of course, the orientation is under the vice president and the education and research minister. He's not blaming the education and research minister. And again, he made mention of the fact the research minister is under coalition. Again, when it comes to the organization of it, the logistical arrangements are not under the vice president. It's under the logistics minister. The logistics minister did not do his logistical arrangement.
And under them
under them. Before you, that's why I would say, we are not politicians that would attack. We tell you that which we intend to do. We tell you our policies and our programs. If his only base is to attack Yunus Mbay or Nyanika Monjang, that is between him and them. Why I am seated here today is to talk to us about that which we intend to do when voted into office. And so through my vice president, we intend to provide these cards that with the students of the University of the Gambia, especially the new students, will be able to navigate through. And again, with regards to the mentorship page, that which he's talking about, why I said it has been politicized is the fact that in this page, not only would they use the numbers of these students to share it to their candidates.
They would do that?
They do that. You can ask every student right now. their candidates are texting them on daily basis, randomly.
No way.
I'm not here to blame. It's not my responsibility, and it's not my interest. But my point is, there needs to be hygiene in our politics.
We have seconds to go. What message do you have for students? On the 20th, they head to the polls.
Thank you. This year, in these elections, UTG Interschool Alliance for Change presented to the students the most competent, most pragmatic, and result-oriented student leaders who are not only giving you promises, but ways in which they are ready to implement these promises. We have not only provided the students that we are going to do this. Things that we have already started doing is what we want to continue doing. The increment of the scholarship package from 40% to at least 50% through the support that we're going to have from members of the National Assembly and other people. We have already started engaging members of the National Assembly. Just recently on Friday, one of them stood before the students and confirmed that we approach him, and he's ready to support the union with $50,000 on annual basis.
Yeah, we have a minute to go.
Just
yes, we have a minute. We have a minute.
Yes, I think I will just quickly delve into that.
We have 1 minute.
Yes, like John Maxwell said, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and leads the way. If you are a leader, like a captain of the ship, I may call it, if you don't drive your boats, obviously it will sink. And this is what happened as the vice president, the one at the Senate, who is responsible for the orientation.
Okay.
If you don't properly organize your people, you will not be successful. Just like a head of a house.
We have a minute. We have seconds.
So that is the part he failed to understand.
Yeah.
Now, what I'm going to tell university students, Solution is Salvation Coalition is known for 3 key things. Okay. That is honesty, experience, and their integrity. They do not compromise with that. And they are the only fraud-free camp in the history of the University of the Gambia.
Quickly, you wanted to say something with Alliance?
Thank you. UTG Interschool Alliance for Change is the longest existing political entity that has left its marks in the history of the University of the Gambia. This year, not only have we presented you with the best candidates, but the ones that are ready to steer your affairs to the best of their abilities. I implore on all students of the University of the Gambia.
Thank you.
To
yes, so what I actually want to say,
Thank you.
We are committed in ensuring that the students' voices are seen.
That's all we have time for. So make sure on the 20th, go and vote. Let's vote peacefully. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming. And good luck to the both of you. A handshake. I would love to see. Yeah, you guys are best of friends. I know that. Yes, I know.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We're here for the students.
Yes, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. See you next week. See you next week.